you know that once I get this bike out on the road, whatever happens, happens. The Lectric XP 3.0 was the #1 selling e-bike in America, and Lectric, they have developed the XP4. And in today's video, I'm going to teach you everything you need to know about it, so let's get into it. The Lectric XP4 is going to come to you as a Class 2 e-bike, which means you can reach up to 20 miles an hour via your thumb throttle here on your left-hand side, your torque sensor down below, and your 5 levels of pedal assist. This bike does come in 2 different versions. You can get it in the standard version, which comes with a 500-watt motor and a standard size battery, or you can get this long range edition that I have here with a 750-watt motor and a larger battery. The bike itself weighs 62 pounds, but with this larger battery, the battery is 9 pounds, which means this bike weighs a total of 71 pounds. The maximum payload of the XP4 is 330 pounds. And during the making of this video, you can purchase the long range edition for $1,299, and it comes with a 1-year warranty. If you are interested in the standard version of this bike, you can get it on Lectric's website for $999. Now, they are constantly running different accessories and stuff like that, various specials. So I'm going to ask that you go ahead, click my link down below. That's going to give you the latest pricing. The XP4 comes in 2 different frames. You can get the step-over version that I have right here, or you can also get the step-through. But either version of these bikes, well, the average rider height for them starts at 4'10" and goes to 6'3". And if you are interested in the step-over version, it comes in 2 colors. This is pine green, and it also comes in Tempest gray. And if you are interested in the step-through version of this bike, well, it does come in 3 colors. You can get it in Stratus White, Tempest Gray, and Raindrop Blue. Lectric says that the XP4 will go up to 85 miles on a single battery charge. My version of the XP4 has a 48-volt 750-watt rear hub motor with a peak power of 1,310 watts and 85 newton meters of torque. Another option is a 500-watt rear hub motor with 1,092 watts of peak power and 55 newton meters of torque. It has an 8-speed transmission, a Shimano Altus derailleur, this massive 56-tooth chainring, and the 8-speed trigger shifter. For stopping power, you have the 602 Star Union waxing 2-piston hydraulic brake system with the super thick 180mm rotors. The front forks are spring-loaded. They have 50 millimeters of travel. You can preload them and you can lock them out. The tires are 20x3. They are branded with Lectric on them. They have this funky street pattern and they're puncture resistant, but Lectric always puts slime in every one of their tires for flat prevention. When it comes to the battery, well, it is hidden in this down tube right here. Now, I have the long distance version, so that means this has a 48-volt, 17.5 amp hours with 840 watt hours of power. If you want to charge it, you can do it while it's in the bike with this charging port over here. It will come with a 2-amp charger, which means you can charge this bike up in about 7 to 9 hours. You can also get this bike with the standard battery, which means it would be a 48-volt, 10.4 amp hours with 499.2 watt hours of power. If fast charging is a priority for you, well, you can purchase a 5-amp charger, which would allow you to charge this long-range battery in only 3.5 hours. If you decide to, you can take this battery out and charge it someplace else, and to do that, well, we need to open up the frame. We're going to take this lever right here, open it up, and then just pull the bike upon itself. Now, you want to make sure you don't fold the bike completely because you want to make room for this key here that's going to release the battery. It will come with 2 keys. You're just going to put the key in there, turn it, pull the key out, and now we can use this tab here and pull your battery out. And then to put the battery back in, well, we're just going to pull it up at an angle, use your key to lock it in place. Now you can release it and close the bike back up. The XP4 has a UL certification of 2271 and a UL certification of 2849. It also has an IPX5 rating, which means it can handle low-pressure water streams from any angle. Additional features include plastic fenders, plastic quick-release pedals, a double-sided chainring guard, a quick-release seat post clamp with a suspension seat post, a very wide and super plush saddle with springs, a rear rack that is welded into the frame and can hold up to 150 pounds. Various mounting points. You have one up here, you have one here, and then also for a front rack, and a telescopic stem. I wanted to come back to this rear rack area here because since it can hold 150 pounds, well, Lectric now has a level up rack, which you can use and purchase separately and mount either a child seat on here or some other accessories that will allow you to carry passengers. They even have a space for foot pegs. This version of my XP4 came with this Lectric foldy lock and the upgraded headlight. Since this is a folding bike, well, I'm going to show you how to fold it. Now, I always start off by doing the stem first. We're going to lift up on this tab and then push out. And that is going to release the stem, and we're just going to bring that down. From there, we're going to grab the frame lock, and then we're just going to turn the bike back upon itself. When folded, the bike is 27 inches long, 29 inches high, and 17 inches wide, making it easy to throw in the back of an SUV or car. So let's talk size and fit. Now, when you take a look at the overall length of the bike, it is only 66 inches in length, and we can make some adjustments here by raising and lowering your stem and also raising and lowering your seat. Now, since this does have a suspension seat post, that is as low as you can make it, and guys, that looks really low. Now, I'm going to put it back up to your highest setting, which there are no numbers here on the back, but there should be a marking. Ooh, that is very tall. So let's go ahead and move this up right here to also its highest setting. And that is what it looks like for your tallest rider. Holy cow. All right, that's a lot. I am 5'9". I weigh about 225 pounds. I have a 32-inch inseam. Yeah, and this is how I should look riding this bike today. Cockpit Operations. On your left-hand side, you have a single locking grip right here. It has a pretty good feeling rubber and this nice palm rest. This is your front brake lever. This is your throttle. And this is your control pad. To start the bike, you must first turn the battery on. Now that the battery's turned on, you're just going to hold down your power button until your display lights up. This is Lectric's new display. Look at how clean this thing looks. It is actually in color, but right now it's in black and white. You can see your percentage of battery right here, also along with a visual indicator. This tells you your miles per hour, and this will tell you your pedal assist level. And then right here, it will take you to various screens. To access these various screens, well, you're just going to hit the power button real quick, and that takes you into your trip information. You hit it again, and it gives you more information like your input power, the motor power, and even your voltage. Hit it again, and it takes you back to the main screen. Now, to go up in pedal assist levels, you're just going to hit your plus button. It's going to take you all the way up into turbo, and then you can use your minus button to go all the way down to off. The XP4 has turn signals, and you can just click the left-hand button. Your turn signal will light up, and also you can see it here on the indicator. Your turn signals will turn off after 15 clicks. To turn your headlight on, you're just going to hold the plus button until your headlight comes on. Your screen dims just a little, and your headlight indicator shows up right there. To turn your headlight off, just hold that plus button again. My bike came with the upgraded headlight, which means it is bigger and it is also brighter. This is your rear tail light. This is what it looks like when you have the headlight on. It is going to give you this little solid bar here in the middle. And this is what the brake light looks like. And this is what your turn signals look like whenever you use them. This new display does come with a couple of features. Now it has a USB-C port down here at the bottom, and you can remove the display and take it with you. On your right-hand side, you have your rear brake lever right here, and then this is your gear shifter. Now, to go down in gear, you're just going to use your thumb and click it down, and then to go up in gear, you're going to use your index finger and click it up in gear. This bike doesn't come with a bell, but we'll be adding one for the review. Lectric has made tons of improvements, not only with this display, but with how you can access the advanced settings. To do that, we're just going to hold the plus and minus button, and it's going to come up with this really great looking advanced settings. Look at that. You can adjust the screen brightness, how long it takes for the bike to sleep, distance in units, tire size, bike classification. Let's hop into there. Now, instead of guessing, you can have it set up for class 1, which means it'll only go to 20 miles an hour and the throttle will not work. Class 2, 20 miles an hour via pedal assist and the throttle works to 20 miles an hour. Class 3, the throttle works to 20 miles an hour and pedal assist will take you up to 28. And California Class 3 means pedal assist will work to 28 miles an hour, but your throttle will not. We're going to set ours to Class 3 because we live in Chicago. Then let's talk about our assistance level. This is a standard torque multiplier, or you can increase the torque multiplier, which means it'll provide you more assistance than the standard torque level. Let's take a look at throttle pass. From here, you can make that your pedal assist is active and your throttle is inactive, that your pedal assist is inactive, but it only works via throttle, or you can make it to where both work. Throttle output. You can make it to where your throttle is limited depending on which pedal assist level you're in, or you can make it to where it's full throttle and it doesn't matter what pedal assist level you're in. That's what we're going to set it up for. Throttle zero start. That means, do you want the throttle to work from a standstill, or do you want it to work when it's already moving? Look, before there were P settings, you had to figure out what it means, but they spell it out for you, so there is no guessing on how this bike will perform. You can set how quick the walk mode works. I mean, guys, this is really, really impressive. Light operation. This is what I loved about the other electric models, but you had to find the P setting to turn it on. This is where your lights are off until you manually turn them on, or we can set it up to where the lights will flash when the bike is on, where I can manually turn on the headlight and the flashing stops, but the headlight will be on. This is excellent. And it has an odometer reset. To go back to your main screen, you can just either leave this alone or go ahead and hit your plus and minus buttons again. We are starting the review out here on the 606 trail. It is going to be a beautiful day here in Chicago, like 73 degrees, which is going to be pretty awesome and make it a beautiful day. I am currently riding in pedal assist 0, which means I'm not getting any assist to the bike. Nothing's helping me along. I'm just pedaling it as if it was an analog bike. We're cruising at 10 miles an hour. I have it into gear 3. It's a pretty easy ride. Let's test out the throttle. Right now, we're just going to use throttle only. I want to see how quick it's going to pick up. I have a feeling for the little bit that I've ridden it that this throttle is pretty aggressive. I think I'm going to like it. All right, so we're just going to start it off. I like how the power levels show up on the display, and we're taking off pretty quick. Yeah, it is a little bit aggressive. Boom, right there was 20 miles an hour, but it's not enough to throw you off the bike. It's enough that's going to help you take off quick, get you across that street, and there is no lag in the throttle. Now let's test out the pedal assist. This is a torque sensor. I have it into eco mode, and I felt the power or the assist kick on immediately when I started turning the pedals, and that is a really good thing. Now, because this bike has a torque sensor, your 5 different levels of pedal assist are going to provide you with different amounts of power, like more assist. The higher the level is, the more assist that you're going to get with your pedaling. I'm going to go ahead and kick it up into a gear right here. Like, we're cruising at 11 miles an hour in eco mode. But if I put pressure on the pedals and start cranking, man, we quickly shoot up to 20 miles an hour. That's what a torque sensor does. It just provides more assist as you crank the pedals. Where those are going to help you is whenever you're fighting against the wind, going up hills, and cruising at a higher speed. Let's go ahead and check out the GPS versus the display. And as you can see, well, they both look pretty accurate, and that is good. I do like how big the speedometer is on the display. Let's go ahead and see how quick we can get to 20 miles an hour using throttle only. I do have it into turbo mode, and let's go. Whoa. Yeah, now we're moving. It climbs pretty quick, guys. Throttle is nice on this bike, and we did it in about 9 seconds, 8 to 9 seconds. All right, let's see how quick we can hit 28 miles an hour using pedal assist only. I have it into turbo, gear 3. That's what we're taking off in, and let's go. Oh, that power kicked in immediately, and I'm already going up in gear. This thing is just moving. Boom. 10 seconds. Maybe it was even 9. Yeah, this bike is fast. It is brake test time, and what we are going to do is we are going to do it in 2 different versions. One at 20 miles an hour in case you leave it into class 2, and the second one will be at 28 miles an hour. Wow, these brakes felt excellent. And we stopped at 19 feet. but man, these felt great. Round 2, I have the bike in turbo, and we have it in gear 7. We're just flying. I came sliding in safe. Well, we've gone farther than 25 feet, so we got to get that figured out. Let's move the bike sideways here. We slid to the right, of course. You know, I mean, it looked cool. 31 feet is what it took with this bike going 28 miles an hour. These brakes feel excellent. I mean, they really do feel nice. I like them. All right, let's go do something else. Now, I have to tell you, I am absolutely loving the brakes on this bike. Not only how they perform, but how they feel in your hands when you use them. This extra cushy seat is going to make this ride a total pleasure today, along with the suspension seat post. Plus, I find this gearing to be, well, incredible. So far, I am digging everything about this bike. I mean, this bike is going to perform. Well, it has been performing really well so far, but we'll see how it's doing by the end of the review. I do think I'm hearing a little bit of rattling with the battery, but if that is the case, that's going to be an easy fix. We'll either do it with some felt or small amounts of rubber. It's not making too much of a noise, but I do hear it a little bit. It's probably going to be pretty bad off-road, so, well, let's go ahead and find out. All right, let's do the off-road part. We're going to check out the suspension in the front and in the rear. I mean, things are feeling pretty good. We're not having any issues at all. I do feel it with the front forks and this rear suspension right here. Oh, yeah, okay, now it's getting a little rough. But this bike's having no problem. Man, the seat is super cush. This is feeling really good. And I feel like it's working extremely well. There we are. Oh, gosh, we're hitting some hard stuff, guys. And you know what? I heard just a little bit of the battery. It wasn't that bad. I'm still going to put some felt in there or something like that to quiet it down a little bit, but no biggie. So if you decide that you need to take this bike off-road some, well, you can, and I can tell you it's going to be a good time. Welcome to the Hill of Pain. This guy's been standing up here for like 5 minutes, so we're going to go ahead and go with him right there. This hill goes from like 18 to 20 degrees, and we're going to see if this bike can make it throttle only and also using pedal assist. We're going to do throttle only first, so let's give that a shot. This thing is pretty torquey, so I have a feeling we're not going to have any issue making it up. And we're doing it. No problem at all. And yeah, we definitely made it up throttle only. All right, let's go ahead and test out pedal assist on how it's going to work. We have it into eco mode. We have it down into gear 3, and let's see how easy it's going to be to make it up this hill. You know what? Let's kick it down into gear 2. Eco is helping, but it's not helping a ton. Okay, you guys are definitely going to have to put in some effort when trying to climb a hill in eco mode. We're doing 5 miles an hour, but we're still moving. Yeah, that is no fun at all. All right, no one is going to enjoy that. Now we have it into tour. Let's see how that feels. You know, a really good thing is that, you know, right when you start putting pressure on the cranks, you feel the assist. And although I feel it better, well, we're only moving like 6 miles an hour going up this hill. But we made it. Still not enjoyable. Now we have it into sport, which is probably where I'm going to be doing most of my riding today, in that pedal assist level. And I mean, it's average going up this hill. It's a lot better than eco, I can tell you that. 8 miles an hour, now 9. And you can easily make it up. Now we are in Sport Plus, giving that a shot. Okay, that feels good. Matter of fact, we're going to kick it up in gear. And yeah, now we're starting to pull up the hill. Nice. Yeah, Sport Plus makes it so much easier. I'm expecting good things from Turbo, so let's go. Oh yeah, kicked it immediately. Holy cow. I just kicked up 2 gears, and we are moving 14 miles an hour. 15. Yeah, it just tears. up this hill. But that's what I was hoping and expecting, and it did deliver. No disappointment there. All right, let's go ahead and see how well this bike's gonna handle in the sand. I put it into turbo, we have it in a lower gear, and let's see, we're gonna use throttle, we're gonna use pedal assist. Ooh, this throttle just wants to push through. You know what, let's just go ahead and try pedaling. Oh yeah, if we're just doing pedal only, we are able to cut through here no problem. Wow, this rear motor is doing excellent. These 3-inch tires, we're just cutting right through, no problem. And we are getting it done. Look at that. I'm not even using throttle. All right, let's use throttle now. And it just launches us to the end. So yeah, guys, in case you're wondering, not only will this bike get you to the beach, but it'll 100% get you through it. Now, I'm not sure if this trip meter is going to reset whenever the bike gets turned off. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go to lunch, because I'm hungry, and we're gonna shut the bike off. We'll check out the trip meter beforehand. We're gonna shut the bike off, and then when I turn it back on, we'll see if the trip meter is still showing today's trip. A nice feature that I have noticed is that while riding, you can just hit this button and I can see what my cadence is, what my trip distance is, the overall odometer, and our trip time. And then if I hit it again, well, now I can see what the input power is, our motor power, how many amps we're putting out, and the voltage that we have. And I can see everything extremely clear, and they've made it super easy to get this information. You know, there are some folding bikes out there that do not ride near as well as this one. This new geometry that they ended up doing with this new design, and then having the stem come towards you a little bit as opposed to going out. Well, for me, I mean, it makes this bike seriously comfortable. Now that I'm on the street, I am happy that I have that blinking feature on the bike. All right, we are here for lunch. Let's go ahead and pop into here. So far, it shows our trip distance at 7.9. Our odometer is at 8, and our voltage is at 51.5. We're going to check these when we hop back out after I turn the bike off and give it about a 20-minute break to see if those numbers are still the same. It has been about 20 minutes. Let's go ahead and fire this thing back up and see if it is still tracking our trip, and it is not. Okay, so just know that whenever you shut the bike off, it is going to reset your trip. Right now we have 51.7 volts, which means we are rocking about 80% battery, but it is showing that we are at 90%. If so, we would have 53 volts. So what that tells me is it's telling me that the battery indicator is showing that we are 10% higher than what we actually are. But we'll be checking that out a couple of times during this review. That's one of the reasons that I like the fact that they show what the battery voltage is, because then you can just break out that chart and you know exactly how much battery power you have. All right, to get out of people's way, we're cutting through some grass here, and I am hearing that battery rattle a little bit more. It seems like the more I ride it, the more it rattles, but it's just loosening up. And like I said, once again, that's going to be an easy fix, but just be aware that yours may or may not do the same thing. Unless it's the controller making noise. It's one of the two. Our chain just went off. Yeah, I think my derailleur needs adjustment, but it's been doing great till now. Yeah, my chain has come off the chain ring here, but because we have that double-sided one, let's just bend this in a little bit. We can put it right back there on the chains. There we go. We're back in business. All right, let's test out the walk feature. Now, we do have it in sport. I want to see if it works if you have it in a pedal assist mode. And it does. And we did set this bike to go 3 miles an hour. You have the option of 3 miles an hour and 3.7. And so we're picking up our step here. But yeah, it has no problem helping you get this bike up the hill. Now, I'm not sure if you guys can see the display, but I can see it very clearly. So this is great. And I'm in bright sunlight and I can see everything I need to see. Chicago is looking pretty hazy today. My wife said it's due to the fires that they have up in Canada, and that wind's been blowing down and just giving everything this overcast look. But if you haven't been watching my reviews before and this is your first time, well, welcome. This is downtown Chicago. That is Lake Michigan. And this is what I do. We are here at Drag Race Alley. Let me go ahead and put this thing into turbo. I want to see if we can get this bike to go faster than 28 miles an hour. So let's see if we can get it done. Oh, 28.2, 28.4, and 7. Man, I'm trying really hard. Oh, it's not going to let it happen. That was worth a shot. You know, one thing I've noticed is how incredibly quiet this bike is. Lectric has been doing a really good job of making these motors completely silent. I felt that way with my Expedition 2.0, and I'm definitely feel that way with the XP4. Now, I know I talked to you guys about how this bike feels when riding it, but now you can see that I'm sitting straight up and down, totally comfortable. And yeah, I think that was a really good job with Lectric, making it to where this thing is that comfortable and this easy to ride. All right, let's go ahead and check out these taillights, see what those are looking like. And then let me hit the brakes here so we can see how bright those are and how it reacts, because I do have the bike doing the strobing mode, and I'm assuming that it went solid whenever I hit the brakes. You know, I'm thinking about all of the updates and changes that they made to this bike, but then they went ahead and they didn't do it to where the trip would have to manually be reset. I mean, it's kind of it's a choice. I was hoping that, you know, you could see how many miles you went ahead and did that day, and that you decide whenever you switch out the trip mileage. If you are wondering how this bike rides on a gravel road, well, this is tiny gravel, but I mean, we're off-road, we're riding it, and the tires are doing just fine. I do need to figure out that rattle, though. Huh. Wait a minute, hang on a second. My bike just shut off. And am I getting any assist here? Let me see if my throttle's working. Okay. For some reason, the bike just shut off. I mean, I turned it back on. We don't seem to be having any issues. You know, whenever you break out like a bunch of new features and new tech, you know, with a new display, which means it would have to have a new controller and different things like that, well, you are bound to run into some issues or something like that that need to be looked into. Maybe it's a small bug fix. Maybe it's something that can be done with a firmware update. Or maybe it was just a glitch. Either way, this bike, besides that, is performing incredibly well. When it comes to the maneuverability, I mean, this thing feels good. I feel like I can just weave around everything I want to weave, and I'm doing this while on a road that weaves. So we're double weaving here, and it feels just fine.
Yeah, they won't have.
That is why you want to have a bell. Well, here's something interesting. I went ahead to take a look to see how many miles we've gone, because we didn't have any miles on this bike. But we had a major malfunction, because right now it's showing the odometer has only 1 mile on it. So whatever happened, it reset the entire bike. But it didn't reset everything, because my blinking light's still flashing. So it's not like it did a factory reset on it. Does that mean do not buy the bike? It does not. Like I said, it could just be a glitch. I figured since we had that issue, I would do another voltage check here. So that we're at 48.4, 48, 60%, and that's showing 70%. So that's twice that we've shown that this indicator is 10% higher than what your battery actually is. So just keep that in mind whenever you're riding around. We are in sport mode, and we don't have anything going here. Hang on. Oh, we're in Sport Plus. Okay. Well, this might not be good. Oh, no, we do not have any assist going to the bike. No, nothing. There we go. Just had to wake it up. I might have a controller that has some issues, because it seems like the more I ride it, the more issues that I'm having. So that's fine. I'll just have Lectric send me a new controller. But you know what? Right now we're going to turn around and start taking it back to the house. Now, every once in a while, I'll run into a bike that has a bad controller. And this is where I get a chance to check out Lectric's customer service. Now, I've checked out their customer service before, It's been excellent. I mean, they got the best customer service in the business, but I will be reaching out to them and having them send me a new controller for this bike. If you've seen any of my other reviews, you know that once I get this bike out on the road, whatever happens, happens. So when I have issues like this, where we're having controller issues, well, I share that with you. If you like these type of honest reviews, well, I'm gonna ask that you go ahead and like this video, or better yet, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We are already down to 30%. It says 40, but we already know that we're down to 30% battery power. You know, I think this display only drops down in increments of 10. I don't see a 39% or a 38. I bet the next time it drops down, it's going to go from 40 to 30. That's why it's so good to have your battery voltage information. Oh, the wind. I'm always dealing with the wind. All right, we just hit 30%. So I was correct. It does drop in 10% increments, which is telling me that really we're at 20% battery power, and I'm still a good 8 miles from the house. So hopefully we'll have enough to make it. Let's do a quick check and see 44.5, 44.5, 35. Oh, interesting. 44.5 showing that we have 35% battery. This is showing we have 30. So I'm assuming that whenever the bike gets into like maybe like 49% and 46, that's when it drops down to that 40. And then, you know, we probably had it at 38% and now we're at 35. So it dropped down into that 30%. So you guys kind of see what I'm talking about. So really, I'm guessing that when we hit 0%, we have either 10% or less. All right, now we've just dropped down to 20%. I want to pull over. Now that it just did it, take a look at our voltage, which is 43.5, but that's with us sitting still. 43.5 says we're at 30. But once we start pedaling, it's going to drop. Let me show you. And it drops us down to like 41 and 42. And if you take a look at that, well, that shows that we're at 20%. So this is telling us what the battery percentage is on load whenever it is riding. We are back on the 606 trail, which means we are 3.3 miles from the house, and we are down to 20% battery power. So let's see if it has enough to make it home. We have dropped down to 10% battery power, and the bike has given me a consistent between 270 and 290 watts of power. 41 volts on the battery. Bike's in turbo. Best we can do is 14 miles an hour, and it's starting to feel heavy. So the bike is going to give you all of the power it can. You know, it's not pulsing or anything like that. It is flashing 0% on the battery right now, but it's still showing that we have 41.6 on the voltage. At 41.3, it shows that we still have 15% battery power. The battery indicator is saying that we don't. But the voltage, well, we're going to trust that over anything else. We are at 41.5 volts. I have the throttle going. We're cruising 9 miles an hour. At this point, I'm just going to take it home and give you guys my final thoughts. We've made it back home, and you know what? Until the controller started to mess up, this bike performed excellent. Now, if we take a look at the mileage, well, we can't look at the display because when the controller messed up, it reset the odometer completely. But if you take a look at Strava, Strava showed that we went 29.64, I think it was. It's right there. And I totally could have gotten 30 miles out of this bike. Now, when it came to the sand test, well, it made it right through it. It was great on the hill climbs for what it is. I do feel like this motor is pretty powerful for a bike like this, and also enjoyed how the bike rode. I mean, that was really the thing that kind of like caught my attention with this super plush seat and the suspension seat post. Obviously, your adjustable forks here in the front that provide you with some cushion, and then these grips and everything. Just the seating position, the geometry of this bike is really a slam dunk for Lectric. I'm a huge fan of this display and the information that you can get on it. Now, I did show you that the battery percentage is about 10% off. Well, in the whole process of doing that, I think once the battery drops into that 40% or 50% or 60% level, that's when it kicks over. And then you would have to look at actually the battery voltage to see what part of that percentage that you are in, because the battery levels only drop in 10% increments. Now, I know I had some controller issues, and I'll be getting with Lectric on that. I do know they have the best customer service in the business, so I have no issues in worrying about them sending me a new controller. So I don't want you to let that give you a hit on the bike. Controllers go out. I could have got a flat tire. Like, anything could have happened during this review, but luckily the controller didn't start having issues until after we had done all of the heavy lifting. Now, if you are interested in the XP4, well, I'm going to leave a link down in the description below, and that'll take you exactly where you need to be. Plus, it'll also show you all the latest specials that Lectric is having on their bikes. I will be doing a YouTube short or another video talking about my experience with the XP4 and also however I solved this rattling issue that we have going on down below. Now, if you are not looking for a folding type e-bike, well, it's okay. You know what? YouTube knows what you like to watch, and because of that, well, it's going to throw it up right there. So that's where I'm going to be next. And if you find any value in my videos, I just ask that maybe you like the video or maybe you subscribe. But you know what? I'm just glad you guys made it to the end, and I want to thank you for watching. So until I see you again, enjoy the ride.